Hello guys, how are you? This is Gio from investmentsavings.co.uk and today is 10th of July 2012. Uh, Basically, last couple of weeks we had I had a busy transactions. So far, my performance is on the ending of 13th week is 78%, a little bit more, but I'm just rounding up the numbers. So basically, within 14 weeks, I have generated 78% on 30,000 deposits. These are my today's transactions. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, for transactions, didn't really bother to do and stick to my plan today, just a little bit, but still generated £106. These are the transactions, they're all being executed today. Now let's have a look at the overall picture. So what are we seeing on the 5-minute chart? At the moment we're seeing downtrends. On the hourly chart we're seeing downtrend. However, though this point here where it was roughly 22.54, I would say, was broken today. Today Euro hit 2-year lowest level, and it was, let me see, the lowest 22.34. Does the euro has a possibility of correcting itself? Yes, it does. When it's gonna happen? Well, we don't know really. I don't like predicting price movements because no one knows exactly. And as you know, my philosophy stands for we're in a business to make money. We don't, well, we are not trying to predict where the fund will grow, how it's gonna grow, etc. We don't care. You know that. Now, on a daily chart, we see we're taking the highest highs from the, let me get to that point, where is it? This one here, roughly 14.930, let's say, going all the way down. Sorry, I do apologize, this platform sometimes is slow, it's just on the Mac, that's why. Okay, so we had an extension here. Let me just extend it further down because the price did go down a little bit since yesterday. Okay, so what are we seeing here? Alignment with uh, 1st of May. The price was 32.63, let's say. Is it possible for it to correct to get to 38% retracement? Yeah, it's possible. Now we should see some sort of bounce from the lowest, because you see the price is not really willing to go any further. However, it can. I mean, everything can change. What also can change in Germany now, they are just planning to put a plan in place with the lawyers, where the banks in Euro area, Eurozone, those countries which have implemented Euro currency, that they can go ahead and borrow directly from the ECB bank, or from ECB bank, rather than government going and expanding their debt. Now that's a little bit unfair, taking into consideration that Spain can do that, but Greeks, they can't. A little bit of double standards. They're trying to save euro. Is there a possibility for euro to be saved? Yes, it's a huge market. However, there is lots of uncertainties and wild cards. One of them is unemployment. When people, they lose jobs and there is no perspective, and they try to leave the country and they go to another places, for example, to Britain, they come in here to London, in trying to find a job, and they're getting like, nowhere, so to speak. So they just they think, well, okay, what's the point me being here in Britain and being hungry? Maybe I'll stay with my parents, etc. and then it boils down to some sort of movement which can have anarchistic attitudes towards the government. Now, if we take into consideration that part, then yes, there's a possibility that on the political level they might break up. But on the financial thing, listen, these guys, they print, these bankers, I'm ex-banker, so I know what I'm talking about. They print money out of thin air. They have no problems printing another couple of hundred billions. They don't, just propping up the inevitable. From my previous videos, I did mention that Greeks in Greece, they were supposed to go bust long time ago. They should have implemented their local currency, drachma. Believe me, by now that would be much better shape than, let's say, same Spain or Italy. That's how it is, because the currency would depreciate due to inflation, and that will attract foreign direct investments because the products will be cheaper to produce in Greece rather than same Italy or Spain. One of the classical scenarios is Iceland. They turned around, they turned around, they said, listen guys, they told us Brits that they're not gonna pay us the loan of about 4 billion, if I'm not mistaken. And they said, sorry guys, we just, we are not paying you. That's it. And check on the Google, their economy is doing great. Their equities, like their estate side of business, of economy is doing great. So they're quite comfortable. It's us who are suffering now. Though we say, oh, we don't want to be part of Europe, but honestly, idea of Europe, European Union is a beautiful idea. The only problem is how it was implemented and executed. That's the only problem. You can't bring into monetary union countries which do not respect local laws, i.e. taxes, etc., and then you bring those who pay taxes all the time on time, and they're trying not to evade them, and well, avoid them, because you can by law, legally evade the tax, but you can't avoid. So what I can see in the short term and long term price, euro will be going down because has certain problems, might get to, I would say, 190, 118. That's a long term. Then what do we see? Possible correction? Yes, possible, because now it's hitting lows of the lows. So it can correct for another 200-300 pips, then just reverse. Resistances, I see these levels here, 126.86. Second resistance will be here, 127.44. And if they come up and say things are great, fantastic, it's gonna go higher, I doubt. Because in a macroeconomical level, and this is what I always say, listen guys, you need to be good with the economics, finances, even math. When people say no you don't, I say yes you do. You need to be intelligent. You need to, you need to know what you're talking about. You need to show what you do according to certain data which you can analyze and crunch. I don't believe in any systems, because any algorithms, they can be broken. Computer will be deciding for you how to trade? No, you have the wisdom, you have the power to create and generate wealth. That's it. So basically, yes guys, please subscribe to my videos. I'm trying to upload them weekly, but as you can see, last time, my last video, I had 50,500, now 53,569, and now 3,000 within 2-3 weeks, which is fantastic. So thank you very much guys for watching. Thank you.